Hi guys, welcome. Danny here from the Magic Junk Drawer. So today we're going back to an A&P story from the vault. Somebody had asked this question, and I thought that I did address it in a video, but maybe I didn't, or maybe he couldn't find it, or whatever. Somebody asked the question, so I figured I would go back and explain. The question was, what were the last few days like working in the store? So here is pretty much what happened. And because I'm so crazy and I'm an astrology person, I have all the dates in my head, like I know everything. So all right, A&P went bankrupt or declared bankruptcy on July 19th. I remember that I was actually on my way to work to teach yoga. It was a Monday. I was on my way to the studio and I heard it on the radio and I was like, oh damn. But we had been in bankruptcy before and we came out of it. So that's what I was thinking. They'll refinance or whatever it is that they do and we'll be fine. I mean, the company had been in business for 156 years. They were the first grocery store in the United States. And I think at their largest, they had stores across the entire country, 16,000 stores. Now, A&P had been having trouble, I believe, since back in the 70s, if I remember correctly, because I think that this is when they were having trouble keeping up with the more modern stores. And it was kind of like on a downhill slide since then. I don't remember now if it was the 70s or the 50s, but anyway, they were struggling for a while. Our store used to do really well, and the reason why we never had any issues or we were never in danger of closing was because, to my understanding, our rent was pretty affordable. It was affordable. So anyway, that was in July. We were uncertain about our future until October. It was October 18th that we found out that we were closing. And for the 4 months, it was hell like you have no idea. The rumors, every time somebody came in a suit, you were wondering whether or not they were looking to buy the place. You were wondering if they were looking at you. We didn't know if we were being watched. I mean, it was hell. And not knowing, when you have like a closing date, at least it alleviates the anxiety. You have to find something else. You need to like get on with your life. But in this instance, we were unsure. And the reason why we were in such a bad place was because if we left, we weren't going to get our severance. And if we left and a company came in there and bought it, we were going to lose the opportunity to that job. So, like, if I quit and went to go work somewhere else for half the pay, and then Acme came in and bought our company, to my understanding, the company, the stores, individual stores that were bought by different grocery stores, they just rolled the employees over. The employees didn't lose anything. So we didn't want to risk losing what maybe we could keep what we had. And that was the source of the anxiety. So October 18th, we found out that we were closing and that our last day would be right before Thanksgiving. We closed on November 21st. So what they do, it's very interesting if you ever go through a liquidation. It starts off with 90% off. Not 90%, sorry, 10% off or 5% off. Maybe you start with 5% off. So everything in the store is reduced by 5%, no matter what it is that you buy, except for like alcohol and cigarettes, things that are like regulated by the state. And you can buy as much as you want at 5% off. There is no flyer. There is nothing on sale. So what a couple of customers pointed out, that even with the 5% off, you really weren't getting a deal. And those are the people that you wanted to tell them to go jump in a freaking lake because you're about to lose your job and they're looking for a bargain. And in the respect that you could tell them that, because what were they going to do? Fire you? At this point, they needed you more than you needed them because they needed you to be there to close the store down. So with the governmental regulations that came down on part-time workers, we weren't allowed to work more than 27 hours a week, including Sunday, which I don't even want to get into. But being that we couldn't get fined by the government because we weren't going to be there, they didn't care. So from October 18th, we were allowed to work as much as we wanted, because who were you going to find? We were going out of business at the end of November. We weren't going to be there for you to find us. So that was the one thing. I was able to work as many hours as I wanted, even if it meant that I could go in for an hour and a half. I could stop in for an hour and a half and do whatever they needed me to do. So everything went 5%, and then a couple of days later it went down 10%, and then 15%. And as time started to go on, we started moving the things up from the far aisles in the store to closer. So we towards the end, we had sections of the store taped off so that you couldn't even go down there. And there was just, by the end, it was basically, there was just like junk left, like you know those little corn on the cob holders that you stick in the corn, like those things, or spoons, straws, that kind of crap. But we went down to 90% off. And the last few days, it was a lot of work with changing the signs over. There were no refunds that were to be given. That we couldn't even give a refund if we wanted to. Nothing was going to get taken back. And then there was a lot of just like severely slashing all the prices, because especially for perishable food, there was nothing that we were going to be able to do with it anyway. So you had to get rid of it. You may as well just, give it to them, because, what are you going to do? But sad, depressing, for most of us that had worked there for so many years, we had become like a family. I mean, you literally, I spent every Thanksgiving with these people. I spent more Thanksgivings with these people working in that store than I did my own family. So it was very depressing to see everything empty, and things that you don't think about, and I'm sure that I may have been guilty at some point in my life going into a store that was on clearance and not even thinking about the people that owned it or the people that worked there and how it was going to affect their lives. But very depressing, very solemn, not knowing what's going to come next. For me, that was a part-time job, but I made enough money there to cover my mortgage. So for me personally, it was a huge hit. I suffered a great loss. I can't even tell you that in all the years that I worked there, what a sin. My severance pay was just about $500. Disgusting. I mean, that's disgusting. As far as the union, they really didn't do much for us. I mean, basically they were telling us to just go out and find another job, which really was not helpful. But there wasn't anything they could do for us. They couldn't get us into another store, because if we weren't in the same union, then the stores that were in that union, those employees had to go first. If there was a position that may be open at some point, you could go get a job there, but you would get hired as a rehire. So you didn't have to go work there. You could go work at any grocery store and start over at nothing and work your way up again. But it would be really like hitting ground zero and starting again. So it was very depressing. The final night we closed the door, I mean, saying goodbye to people that I worked with for 20 years, yeah, sad. And the feeling of not having to go back there ever again. There were moments where you almost felt like it was like waiting for school to end. But then there were moments that it was like, I can't believe that I'm not going to be here next year. I can't believe I'm not going to be having Thanksgiving with you people again. It's just sad. I would not wish that experience on anyone, even if it's a shitty job, even if it's a job that you hate. I would wish that everybody would be able to leave on their own terms and for something better, not for something worse. So it was a bad time, and it really did split us all apart. I mean, we still talk. I still talk to a lot of my coworkers, but it's not the same. I mean, it's not the same as being with them every night, So it was very depressing, very sad, and definitely closed a chapter in my life. As always, if you like what we're doing here at the Magic Junk Drawer, don't forget to like and subscribe, share us with your friends, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye. And thank you for the question. Bye.